How many of you remember the mashup era of the early 2000s? Developers were mixing and matching APIs from companies like Twitter, Flickr, Amazon, and Netflix to create wow new apps. One of the most iconic mashups was housing maps, which combined Google Maps with Craigslist to present real estate listings on an interactive map. This seems simple now, but back then, these mashups totally blew our minds. Well, I really miss the creativity of those days, which is why I am so excited about MCP. It's bringing back the same energy of the mashup era, but in a way that could actually work long term. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol, and it's an open standard that lets AI agents talk to different APIs, tools, and data sources in a clean and consistent way. Think of it like a universal adapter. Instead of custom coding every integration, you just plug in these things called MCP servers, which are basically wrappers around APIs, and the agent knows how to interact with them. And this setup makes it super easy to build mashups because everything plays nicely together right out of the box. And let me tell you, developers are hyped. Everyone is talking about MCP. It's going completely viral. But enough hype. Let's look at some fun MCP mashups. I'm going to use Goose, which is an open source AI agent built as an MCP client. That means it works with any of the 4,000 plus MCP servers out there and lets you choose whichever LLM you want. So we're really seeing the full potential of MCP here. So let's recreate that housing maps mashup, but this time with MCPs. I asked Goose to make an interactive map of restaurants nearby. It first uses the Google Maps MCP to get the location and then to also search for nearby restaurants. Once it has this data, it uses the developer MCP to write the web page. Then it uses the computer controller MCP to open it in a browser. And there you have it. We have an interactive map of nearby restaurants all done in about 30 seconds. So, with just one natural language prompt, Goose mashed up several things. The Google Maps MCP to get the data, the OpenStreetMap API and Leaflet.js to provide the map tiles, the developer MCP to create the web page, and the computer controller MCP to open it in the browser. Y'all, this is the modern day mashup, combining data from various APIs and local tools without manually wiring them together. Let's look at another mashup. How about setting up a new project, which is a practical task for any developer? So I want to set up this Git diagram project locally, and it has an extensive stack, complete with front end and back end. There's great instructions on how to set up the environment, but it's a lot of manual work, and I can spend my time on better things. So I'm going to give Goose this repo and have it do it for me. Goose is using a GitHub MCP to get instructions. It clones the repo. It installs missing dependencies. It sets up the environment variables. It attempts to spin up Docker, but can't do so without prompting me, which I love because I'm not giving the passwords to my agents. Next step is to start the database. Goose runs into a little snag, but resolves it on its own. And last step is to start the front end server. So now I want to go ahead and test Goose's work by checking localhost in a browser. And voila, the environment is successfully set up in less than 2 minutes, I might add. So there's lots of places where you can find MCPs, or as I like to call it, the MCP toy stores, because I quite literally feel like a kid in a candy store every time I go browsing for MCPs. Glamma AI has a report card feature, which I really like. So I go here when I need to suss out an MCP. And then Post MCP is my favorite. I love how clean the UX is, and they show indicators of the popularity of an MCP. So if this got you curious, I encourage you to give it a try. We are having an absolute blast mixing and matching MCPs. You can start by choosing an MCP client as your AI agent. Of course, I recommend Goose because it's open source, it's LLM agnostic, it's good for more than just coding, and comes with a couple of built-in MCP servers. Then you should explore the directory. So you'll find thousands of MCPs. And if you can't find what you're looking for, you can always build it yourself with an MCP SDK. So go mash things up, make something fun, and share with the community. Thanks so much.